Quick question. If the ultra-rich are supposedly bathing in caviar and wiping their tears with golden tissue paper, why is your hedge fund-owning neighbor driving the same beat-up 2012 Toyota Corolla you sold on Craigslist for $3,000? Well, I got news for you. That's not just a fluke, that's strategy. Welcome to the bizarre camouflage universe of stealth wealth, where billionaires rock Costco khakis, money vanishes faster than your Instagram story, and flexing is considered tackier than wearing socks with sandals. In today's video, we're diving into 14 of the sneakiest ways on how the rich hide their wealth without ever looking cheap. Because the ultra-rich, they've literally mastered the art of hiding their wealth like it's a James Bond mission. Except instead of tuxedos and martinis, it's trust funds and shell companies. And the craziest part? They're really good at it. They look modest, low-key, heck, even broke most times. But behind the scenes, they're stacking millions like Legos and Jenga blocks. These strategies are brilliant, bold, and borderline scandalous. And by the end of this video, you'll be seeing wealth in a whole new light. So without wasting any time, let's dive in. 1. They use trust funds like Swiss Army knives. All right, look, if you think trust funds are just for spoiled kids with pony names like Coco and Sterling, think again. Trust funds are one of the slickest tools in the rich person's toolbox. Why? Because they separate ownership from control. Translation: you don't technically own the asset, but you control it. That beach house in the Hamptons, owned by a trust. That Picasso in the hallway, also in a trust. And because the trust owns it, not the person, it's way harder to trace, tax, or take. It's like financial invisibility, Harry Potter style. But if you think that's clever, wait till you hear how the rich literally live in their wealth. Tax-free. 2. They borrow against their assets instead of selling them. Please listen to me carefully, because I want to give you a golden piece of advice. Selling stocks. That's for amateurs. The rich don't sell, they borrow. It's hard to explain this in detail, but I'll share an example so you can fully understand. Let's say you've got $10 million invested in Apple stock. If you sell it, boom, you get taxed like a piñata. But if you take out a loan against it, no taxes, no capital gains, no paper trail. They call it buy, borrow, die. Buy assets that grow. Borrow against those assets, tax-free, die. Fun times. Pass it all on to your heirs with a step up in basis so they don't pay taxes either. It's legal. It's genius. It's the closest thing to a cheat code in capitalism. Speaking of assets, now we turn to liabilities, because this next one is by far the biggest financial mistake you can probably make, and I'm talking about your ride. 3. They drive poor on purpose. Pay attention to this now. You know what's better than driving a Ferrari? Driving a 10-year-old Toyota Camry and having the IRS ignore you. Rich people have figured out that looking rich can be expensive, not just in cash, but in attention. Flashy cars attract more than likes. They attract IRS audits, gold diggers, jealous relatives, lawsuits. So what do the smart rich do? They drive Hondas, Subarus, and the occasional beat-up pickup truck that screams, "I just came back from Home Depot," not, "I own a private island." Warren Buffett famously drives a modest Cadillac. Mark Zuckerberg drives a Honda Fit. That guy at your local coffee shop with the Tesla, he's probably in debt. But the guy in line behind him with the scuffed-up sneakers, he might own half the block. And please, I have to pause the video right now and explain something to you. Most people will watch and don't apply anything I'm telling you. And it's not just this video. We've created specific videos and playlists that'll literally guide your wealth-building journey to financial freedom. Go back and watch our Stealth Wealth series after this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Number 4, they turn mansions into tax shelters. Now, before I explain more, you need to understand this. To the average person, a $20 million mansion is a fancy place to live. But to the rich, it's a giant piggy bank. They use their homes to park wealth in appreciating real estate, deduct mortgage interest, write off property taxes, borrow against the equity. Even better, some of them put the mansion in an LLC and rent it to themselves for tax advantages. Wild, right? And if they're in states like Florida or Texas with strong homestead protections, that mansion becomes a fortress, untouchable in lawsuits or bankruptcy. It's not just a home, it's a hiding spot. And speaking of shelters, this next one is like hiding in plain sight using the world's favorite financial invisibility cloak. Number 5, they stack money in real estate that looks average. So what does this mean? Don't worry, I'll give you a strategy that you can start applying very easily, but before you start applying this strategy, let me ask you a question. Ever drive past a boring strip mall and think, who even owns that thing? Chances are a millionaire does. The rich love buying boring buildings because they produce predictable cash flow, low drama, and zero flash. Duplexes, storage units, plain old rentals in working-class neighborhoods. These properties don't scream, "I'm rich," but they quietly pump out thousands of dollars every month like a money-printing machine behind drywall. You won't find the rich buying castles. They're buying apartment buildings with coin-operated laundry. Now, if you thought real estate is nice, wait till you see what the rich are doing with LLCs and corporations. It's like financial origami. 6, they use LLCs to disguise ownership. As we discussed in previous videos, the rich don't buy homes in their own name. Oh no, that's for amateurs. They use LLCs, trusts, or shell companies to keep their names off the property records. So while you're trying to stalk their mansion on Zillow, all you find is some entity called Maple Grove Holdings LLC. Now, since I've gotten several comments on this topic, I often get asked a recurring question. Why do rich people keep their businesses private? Well, it's simple, because privacy is wealth's best friend. When your name isn't on the title, people can't Google your house, find your address, or hit you with a lawsuit over the fact that your driveway looks too bougie. Heck, even famous celebrities do this. Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and even Elon Musk have bought property through LLCs. And if you think that's sketchy, remember, it's not about being shady. It's about being smart. LLCs are like masks for assets. They hide the owner's identity, separate liability, and protect privacy. Here's how it works. Wealthy person buys a property, sets up an LLC to own it, maybe even sets up another LLC to own that LLC. Sprinkle in a trust for good measure. Now try tracing that back to an individual. It's like peeling an onion made of legal jargon. This is how billionaires can own 20 properties across 5 states and still seem like they don't have much. 7, they buy art and collectibles for more than just the vibes. The problem with most people is that when you spend money, 99% of it goes towards depreciating assets. When rich people buy a $5 million painting, they're not just being artsy. That painting, it's a portable, appreciating, untaxed asset. Here's why it's genius. Art can be stored privately, offshore. It doesn't throw off income, so no taxes. Its value often skyrockets over time. Even better, they can donate that art later to a museum and get a massive tax write-off. So they got to flex it for years, then use it as a deduction. Some even park their collections in Delaware-based LLCs or Swiss vaults, like Batman, but with Monet. If that one blew your mind, wait until you hear how the rich keep their kids from messing it all up. 8, they don't give their kids cash, they give them control. To be honest, I don't know why I haven't already discussed this in this Stealth Wealth series, but it's a topic I want to explain to you now. The rich don't hand their kids money, they hand them trusts. That way, little Jimmy can't blow $10 million on NFTs and electric jet skis. Instead, the trust pays him a monthly amount, maybe covers his school or business expenses, and keeps the family money protected from bad decisions, bad marriages, and bad habits. It's the ultimate combo of love and control. And yes, it keeps the wealth hidden behind legal firewalls. 9, they mix personal and business expenses legally. This next one is one of the most critical points you should always understand. And this point in particular is something I need to discuss with you seriously. Let's say you fly to Italy. Is it a vacation or a business research trip because you talked about your real estate venture over Aperol spritzes? If you guessed the second, congratulations. You think like a rich person. Wealthy entrepreneurs are masters at turning personal expenses into business deductions. The car, company lease, the phone, business line, the home office, write-off, the family vacation, annual strategy retreat. This isn't tax fraud, it's tax optimization, and the tax code, written largely by people who benefit from this, allows it. All right, it's about to get international, because hiding wealth domestically is one thing, but the rich also go offshore. 10, they use offshore accounts, legally and strategically. Offshore accounts aren't just for villains in action movies. They're very real, very legal, and very popular among the ultra-wealthy. Places like the Cayman Islands, Switzerland, or Singapore offer asset protection, privacy, lower tax burdens. It's not always about avoiding taxes. Sometimes it's about diversifying holdings, avoiding currency risk, or protecting assets from lawsuits. And with the right legal structure, good luck finding out who actually owns what. But even their lifestyle choices are part of the disguise. Let's break down the wardrobe trick. 11. They dress down on purpose. You know who's wearing Gucci head to toe. People who want you to think they have money. You know who's wearing a plain black t-shirt and some New Balance sneakers? Probably the guy who owns half of Manhattan. Nothing says stealth wealth like a billionaire in an old hoodie. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same gray t-shirt every day. Steve Jobs wore the same turtleneck for years. It's not laziness, it's a strategy. Look, you need to understand this clearly. Rich people know that attention is expensive. The moment you start wearing $5,000 shoes, everyone treats you differently. The IRS, your coworkers, that second cousin who suddenly wants to reconnect. So they go for low-key, unbranded clothes, neutral colors, old sneakers. Looking average lets them move freely. Blending in is the new flex. But if you think it stops there, oh no. The rich also turn passion projects into wealth vaults. The rich don't need to flaunt wealth, because when you actually have it, you want to protect it. And that means flying under the radar. This is called stealth wealth. And it's not just fashion, it's philosophy. Quiet cars, no Lambos. Low-key homes, no Golden Gates. No Instagram flexing. Because what for? But don't get it twisted. Just because they look broke doesn't mean they think broke. Wait until you hear how the wealthy use businesses to hide their wealth in plain sight. 12. They own businesses that look small, but are cash monsters. Ever see a random dry cleaner or plumbing company and think, how is that still open? Let me let you in on a secret. It's not just open, it's printing money. The rich buy or build boring businesses like car washes, landscaping companies, HVAC services, franchises. They may not look glamorous, but they're wildly profitable and easier to scale. And here's the kicker. When you own a business, you can legally write off your car as a business vehicle, your phone as a communication expense, your vacations, business trips. And I know that many of you have asked me to talk about it, which is why very soon there will be an entire video dedicated on how to start a small business from complete scratch as a beginner, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay notified. 13. They use dynasty trusts to lock in wealth for generations. A few years ago, I realized most average middle-class people leave behind some cash and a box of old photos. The rich? They leave behind empires. A dynasty trust is a multi-generational vehicle that protects wealth from taxes, divorce, and even stupid heirs. Here's how it works. Assets go into the trust, they grow, protected from estate taxes. Future generations benefit without owning. It's like creating an ATM machine for your grandkids that Uncle Sam can't touch. And finally, the richest of the rich have one last sneaky move that keeps their empire hidden from public eyes. 14. They build foundations that double as PR plus tax shields. You ever notice how billionaires suddenly get into philanthropy right around the time they hit the Forbes list? Foundations are the ultimate double dip. You get to write off massive donations. You still control how that money is used. You boost your public image. Hello, Time Magazine. It's like putting your money in a public treasure chest that only you have the key to. Plus, foundations can employ family members, own assets, and invest, all while being labeled charitable. It's genius. It's powerful. It's hiding in plain sight. Bottom line, it goes like this. The rich don't just have money. They protect it, hide it, and multiply it using legal strategies most people don't even know exist. They're not showing off on Instagram. They're buying art, hiding assets, and sipping tea in their $30 hoodie, while their trust fund quietly earns 7 figures. But here's the best part. You don't have to be a billionaire to think like one. These principles, from trusts and LLCs to stealth wealth and smart tax moves, are available to anyone willing to learn. Oh, and it's not all about simply hiding your wealth. There are actually 15 subtle signs that can secretly show you're entering the top 10% and joining the upper class. To find out now, simply click the video on the screen and we'll see you there.